Nei, men hei sann du, og velkommen tilbake til Matias spiller Back to the Future, the game. Da vi tilbake her, og vi skal fortsette å spille mer. Men nå må jeg snakke med han.
Morty! How goes the escape plan?
How do you remember this phone number after 50 years?
It's a mnemonic for a dirty punchline I learned when I was 12. Now, get to the soup kitchen and find out where I am.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
Jules and Vern. For de som har sett film nummer 3. Jeg skal ikke si noe mer, men fordi at jeg tror det kan spoile litt grann.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine, fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Sånn, dere skjønner, så ikke det her så... Men så det her noen år gammelt. Det litt sånn... Jeg tror det kom ut i 2011 eller noe. 2010 kanskje, jeg vet ikke. Jeg litt usikker. Der.
Where'd the DeLorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Griff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
Is for all intents and purposes the exact same machine as the original. Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
Vel, jeg håper at den varer lenge nok. Liksom. Eller enda lenger.
So, what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
The usual? You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I hate to tell you, Doc, but your last time departed display is on the fritz.
It is? So how did you find me?
I found one of Edna Strickland's shoes in the DeLorean.
How did one of her shoes get in the DeLorean?
Einstein took it from her.
He did? How strange. Heidi almost never attacks people. Not without a good reason, anyway.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Jeg vet om det, men jeg skal ikke si noe om det, for da spoiler jeg hele greia, og det
What do you know about Edna Strickland?
Edna? We never really socialized when I was younger. She was a few years older than me, and we traveled in different socio-economic circles. Why do you ask?
She thinks you're a hero for burning down that speakeasy. She's doing a story on you.
A story? Oh, yes, now I remember. Ask Edna, the etiquette column that doubled as a pro-temperance soapbox. She believed that the consumption of alcohol would inevitably lead to a complete societal breakdown.
Sounds like a fun gal.
You should have seen her when the hippies started showing up in the 60s. She just about lost her mind.
That would explain a lot.
Det ville det nok.
I know know this really isn't the right time or place, but I found your notebook.
Ah, so that's where I left it. Why'd you bring it here?
Because the bank's selling off all your stuff.
They can't do that.
That's what I keep trying to tell them.
Well, you hold on to it for safekeeping. We'll deal with my financial situation in 1986 after we save me from a grisly death in 1931.
Nå får vi komme oss til litt på sak, for jeg tror det er noen som
Hang in
vil
there,
at vi skal
Doc.
komme til saken. Jeg tenkte at det bare var noen ubesvarte spørsmål som burde bli besvart først, tenker jeg.
Who are you and what do you want?
Can I talk to, Carl Sagan?
Are you his lawyer?
No.
Then scram.
Then scram! Ok, da går vi inn her. Into the soup kitchen. Eller suppekjøkkenet, som de også kalte det på den tida. Ja, men hvem er det? Han ser kjent ut. Og han så... Oi.
McFly!
Biff? Kid! Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right.
No.
That's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well,
Well, what?
what are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid, I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 plus 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Oi, hva skjedde der? Det skjedde ikke når jeg spilte på PlayStation 3, altså. Det var veldig merkelig.
I better not talk to him. I don't want to mess up his timeline.
Ok. Er det noe annet vi kan gjøre før vi ringer opp? Ja. Hvorfor har han gjort det?
There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help.
Grunnen er vel fordi at han ikke vil la noen komme seg inn. Derfor kommer seg inn den døra. Cuball.
Okay. Hey, never mind.
The kitchen's for management only, rummy.
Whoa!
Oi. Jøsse navn. Han reagerte i hvert fall.
Okay. Hey, never mind.
Ja, samme det. Det er ikke så viktig. Telefon. En gammeldags telefon. Det nice.
Brown residence.
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. He's calling.
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse.
Nei. Det var vel for
Those who once ate delicacies are destitute in the street. Cheery.
Ok. Da går vi og finner han. Ja, vi har nok tid til å gå og snakke med han, vet du. Selvfølgelig gjør vi det. Jeg liker ikke akkurat de kameravinklene alltid. Det er litt sånn tullete noen ganger. Det ble heldigvis bedre i de senere spillene. Ok, men for dere som ser på nå, følg med veldig godt på den stemmeskuespilleren som spiller unge Emmett Brown, for han er en av de
Young Doc's in the
beste
courthouse. I hope I'll be able to recognize him.
og kuleste voice actorene ever, og han faller så godt inn i rollen. Det er nemlig James Arnold Taylor.
Don't touch those. These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm, Harry Callahan.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact. Naturally, h2 of A multiplied by the inversion of H has to come out less than expectation value of A, right? What am I missing here? Or do we take H to stand for permitting a line operator?
Jeg skal bare snakke med deg. Kom her.
The inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's true.
Kom her.
But how many newtons are
Kom
required
her.
to maintain a constant mass if acceleration is reduced by the inverse of...
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
Nei, det tenker du, ja.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter, very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. Callahan, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
So, Emmett, what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Just no.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Å jo da, det har det nok.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science.
Din løgnhals. Kom her. Ah. Skal vi bare vente utenfor her da? Til han kommer ut igjen.
Well, no.
Der kommer han da.
Gonna be the inverse.
Kom her. Kom igjen, da. Kom her. Kom her. Ups.
Equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Now, if
Yes.
H stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally H A multiplied by the inversion of H has to come out less than expectation value of A, right? No. What am I missing here?
Ah, kom igjen, da.
Well, no. H and gonna be the inverse.
Come on, wait up
Du
a
var
minute.
litt bedre på
You again?
PlayStation 3
Can't you see I'm busy?
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong. No, not possible. No.
Får du bare vente utenfor det. Hør nå.
Now, if H stands for one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally H2A multiplied by the...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
Come on, you could trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for, in more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character! In a lineup, but in that case, H to A multiplied by the inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan!
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it!
Nei vel da.
But back to
Jeg tror vi
H.
skal snakke med gamle da. Nok om dette her. For dette her er det ordblanderen igjen. Seriøst. Urespektabelt. Skal vi se... Ok, jeg må bare sjekke hvor mye klokka er.
Psst, Doc! Well, I met your younger self,
Great.
and I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections. So I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him. But right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
Hvis noen lurer, så prøver jeg jo å få gjort mest mulig, men noen ganger når det gjelder sånne viktige samtaler og sånn her, så er det ikke alltid så mye vi får gjort allikevel, i deres perspektiv. Da. Så vi får i hvert fall gjort noe ut av hver episode, men kanskje ikke mye i deres perspektiv. Liksom.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
I'm not sure.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... the Hill Valley Expo!
The expo?
Yes, the Expo! How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
Sånn. Da skal vi la han få...
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure. One which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
Men ikke sånn som du vil huske det. Hint, hint.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know, h to the something with an inverse of something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
Jeg har en idé som kanskje vi kan bruke.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Det kan jeg forstå. Fedre var veldig mye sånn i gamle dager. Først det var sånn, både mødre og fedre var sånn, var mye strengere i gamle dager enn de er nå. For før så var det sånn at du måtte ha den om jobben som... Ja, jeg kan gå mer grundig inn på det i neste episode, for hvis jeg skal gå grundig inn på det. Men nå så tar det meg enda en episode, og det vil jeg ikke. Så da sier jeg takk for nå. Ha det bra. Takk for at dere hadde så på. Håper du vil være med på neste episode. Ha det bra.